Hello and welcome to the GBC. I am your host, Nash Koberg. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Stacy Plocher, the zoo manager here at the Bramble Park Zoo in Watertown, South Dakota. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for coming.
Speak about the history of Bramble Park Zoo, who and what the Bramble Park Zoo is, and how we got here today.
Awesome. It's a big question. So Bramble Park Zoo started off as a pheasant farm donated by Frank Bramble. So it became city-owned at that point, and the city moved it to where we currently are located. It started off as a drive-through zoo, real little, lots of pheasants, birds, and we've grown it to the amazing zoo it is today.
What kind of impact does the Bramble Park Zoo have on Watertown and, more importantly, tourism, people coming to Watertown?
About half of our guests here at the zoo are from outside of Watertown. So it is a draw for people outside of the community. It gives them a good reason to come to Watertown, spend an afternoon with us, go eat lunch, see family, see friends, have a place for everyone together.
What makes the Bramble Park Zoo unique and special, and why do people love it so much?
I think it's so special because of how intimate we are with everything. You walk in, we say hi, we know people's names. You can get face to face with all the animals. You get real up close, in-depth views. We have keepers walking everywhere, staff walking everywhere. If you have a question, we want to talk to you. We want to tell you about our animals and what we're doing here at the zoo.
What's something that the people might not know about Bramble Park?
One of the main questions we're getting, especially right now, is what happens with all the animals in the winter. They all stay here. They all have a house here. They all have their homes, depending on the animal. So the otters are out year round, but they still go in at night to a nice warm bed. And so we kind of use their natural history to give them what they need.
And how do you, I know education is a pillar of here at Bramble Park. Just speak to kind of what that looks like and how that also impacts more of the local community.
All school groups can come in at a discounted rate, if not free, depending on the situation. We put on classes for them. We go to classes. We go to schools. And with most of those classes, it's all about getting hands-on, touching an animal, learning its special niches in the environment. And Jamie, our educator, does great at specializing all of those classes to meet all of the needs that they're looking for that day.
On the tourism aspect, dig into that a little bit more, how you guys know that information and kind of what that means.
It's all voluntary information. So as people check in at the front with us, we ask them for their area code. And that's all the info we need. And that helps us with our marketing and where we're going to advertise things like that for the coming year, where we need to reach out a little more. But we have people all over South Dakota coming in, Western Minnesota. Last year, we saw people from Canada, New Mexico, Florida. So we track it, and it's just kind of neat to see how people come together here in Watertown.
Another important aspect of the Bramble Park Zoo is the conservation effort you guys do. What all does that entail?
Our biggest conservation effort is our migratory bird rehab program. So we are licensed through the state for that. We see everything from eagles to ducklings in the spring, and it's our job to keep them as wild as possible, take care of them, fix them up the best we can, and return them back to the wild. We saw multiple eagles this year. We just had a big eagle release that had a pretty good turnout. But our goal is to keep those animals wild with our conservation program through our rehab. So it's kind of behind the scenes. People don't see it, but we like to tell our story. But our community knows if they find an injured bird or ducklings that don't have a mom, things like that, they call us and we'll take them in and help them out the best we can. Yeah. We do have other breeding programs that people can see and be a part of. So we have a lot of pollinator gardens. We do a lot of education programs around our pollinator gardens to help with monarchs, local birds, local bees. We have our 3 beehives. Yeah. So, and then kind of a hidden one that we do is our breeding programs. So we swapped out some bison earlier this year. So now we have our herd with pure bison DNA, and that's helping the bison programs in the wild. So our goal as a zoo is to keep the genetics as viable as possible to return animals back to the wild.
So it not only is a way the community can get involved in your conservation effort with the rehab, but also that affects the state and, with, the keeping those genetics pure and helping out the Yeah, the wild. So that's cool. What would be your, if you had to, your like top 3 things you think people need to see when they come here? I know that's tough as a zoo man.
Kids. Our otters are always great. They're always active. Kids love watching them. And again, that's just one of our great aspects we have. They're going to come up, they're going to touch, they're going to get right up close to them. And that's what we want to do. And then I'm trying to think, we have our large cats, and that's one they're out year round for people to see because we are open year round. So like our snow leopards are actually more active in the middle of winter and when it's cold out. So if you're brave enough to come on out in the winter, you can watch them playing and rolling in the snow, and it's just something unique you don't see everywhere.
Looking towards the future, what are some more things or possible things in the works that the community and afar can be excited about?
That would be our wolf project. I'm very excited about our wolf project to grow our wolf pack. And then it's going to be set up so people can come face to face with the wolves, just like our otters. They are very impressive animals. There's a lot of controversy with wolves in the wild, so we would love to help people understand that, form their own opinions on it, but kind of rally around the wolves.
And when is a possible timeline to see that?
We're hoping next year. So we're hoping to break ground early this year, or this coming year, 2025, and hopefully it'll be completed by the end of the year.
What makes you so passionate about what you do, and why do you love, being a part of this?
I love zoos, and I think zoos have a very unique position to help animals in the wild. So growing up, you just see animals in small cages, and we have changed that narrative. We have changed how we care for our animals, and I'm very proud to be part of that. So we are more of a conservation organization. We do education programs, and we're looking to the future. So we're not taking animals out of the wild, but we're helping those endangered animals to keep them in the wild, to keep them there for future generations. So I think it's a very important message as far as zoos as a whole to promote their breeding programs and how we're helping wild animals.
Why Watertown?
The community. I was looking to move closer to the Midwest, be back closer to friends and family, and an opening happened here at the zoo. I came to the zoo. I actually saw the wolves, fell in love with the wolves, talked to some of the keepers and their passion for their animals and what they're doing here at the zoo. Talked to some community members and their passion for the zoo, and I just really wanted to be a part of it.
When it comes to memberships and tickets here, speak a little bit about what that is, what the costs are, and how that benefits, how like the memberships benefit them, the customer.
In general, the memberships help you get the best deal, and everyone loves a deal. So a family of 4 can come out to the zoo 2.5 times, and that's the cost of their membership about. And so if you're coming out more than that, you're coming in for free. If your kids are having a bad day, or you're out here and it starts raining, you can just come back the next day and it's no money out of your pocket. A lot of our special events also have special discounted rates. And so that's always a perk and something to watch out for.
And how do you guys partner with other zoos when it comes to those?
That's part of our membership program as well. We have a reciprocity program. We're actually reevaluating that currently. But we work with a lot of local zoos and zoos nationwide that they either give us a discounted rate because you're one of our members, or entrance into the zoo for free.
How many roughly zoos is that reciprocity for?
It has fluctuated over the years, anywhere from 100, and right now we're reaching out to almost 300 facilities.
Wow. So that's an incredible incentive and benefit for getting that membership. Not only is it practical, but when you're traveling.
Yes, it benefits us here at the zoo, here in Watertown, and then as you're out in the world.
What would be your quick pitch on if somebody's asking why they should come to the zoo and they haven't been here for a long time, so why should they come?
Because there's always something new at the zoo. Something's always changing. Something's always going on. We have new events we're adding, new animals we're moving. They're always active, and it's also just a great way to get outside, enjoy our weather, and watch some fun things happening.
Now for our last segment, it's the top searched questions about the BPZ. First one, if you know, it's a challenging one. How many animals and how many types of animals do you guys have here?
We have about 500 to 600 animals here, and that's including all of our fish. We have quite a few fish. We have about 26 species. So we have a little bit of everything. So we've got small animals, we have lemurs, we have large primates, we have big cats, we have the wolves, kangaroos, otters, our kids zoo. So we have a large variety, and that's super awesome to see.
Awesome. What kind of educational programs and special events do you guys have throughout the year?
We have several throughout the year. The two we still have coming up this year is we're actually joining Game Fish and Parks for a Christmas bird count on December 14th. And we have Breakfast with Santa coming up on December 7th. So those will be it for this year. But then coming next year, we have more coming on. We have our Sip and Safari events. We have our Zoo Boo event. And we kind of throw several in throughout the year. So you always have to check back and watch. We have education classes all year long, too, to join.
Question 3, is there a petting zoo at the Bramble Park Zoo?
We do have a petting zoo. It's our children's zoo. We've got 4 alpacas in it, 5 goats. We've got a mini horse. And that's also where all of our education animals live. So depending on the time of year, you can also come out and pet our snakes or our skunk or our ferrets.
Cool. One of the last most asked questions is how can someone support the zoo and be involved?
We have several ways. The easiest way is just go to our website. We have a donate now button, and that'll take you right through it. I think it's 3 clicks, simple, easy, you're done. And that way you can also donate anywhere you want. So we have a comment line. If you want it to go to our wolf project, you want it to go to our general fund or a specific animal or some of our enrichment, which is our animal toys, you can ask that as well.
Cool.
So that's our easiest way to get involved. If anyone's looking for volunteer opportunities, let us know. We have companies come out and volunteer as groups to help with some major projects we have going on. We had a couple individuals come out and help volunteer as well.
Well, sweet. Well, we want to thank you for coming on, and I hope you guys at home learn some more about the Bramble Park Zoo, and yeah, stay tuned for next time.